Welcome back. Welcome back. Episode 22 of the Men Lie, Women Lie, and All Flowers Die podcast. Shout out to my homies, the twins, whose beeper code used to be 22. And when we asked them why it was 22, it was like, because we're twins and there's two of us. 22, get it? And we was like, yo, y'all niggas are mad corny, bro. Fuck out of here. But I'll never forget that memory. So shout out to them. Shout out to all the twins out there in the world. Hello, Mama Les.
Hello there.
Looking like $1,000,000.
Trying.
On the workout plan. On the very committed.
Very committed.
Very
I was just offered some delicious empanadas made by our own Dolly.
Quick ad. Get a dozen empanadas from Dolly.
I've had them in the
happy as
past.
hell.
They're so good.
If you could get the killer seasoning in them, even better. Shout out to my man Killer Season. He's got the TH seasoning available now. But get with Dolly and get them empanadas.
Oh, so good.
So
Any of her food. So good.
True that. We're here today to discuss two topics, right? One being regrets. And regrets like an ugly word. And the other being destiny. So the question presented to us was, is everything predetermined? Is everything pre-written? Is your destiny destined? So we're going to get into that shortly. But then we were also tasked with asking people in our circles what one of their life regrets is. And people are not very eager to discuss their regrets. And actually asking someone a life regret is that's like an opening question, because there's going to be more questions, and it's going to lead to a way deeper conversation.
I mean, I think it also says a lot about you as like a person, right?
Depending on what you regret?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can believe that. I can agree with that. Because if you regret like some dumb shit,
right, then maybe you haven't done like any like deep soul searching, right? Then that just shows. Right.
One of the funniest answers I got, and this will be my first example of somebody that I asked, and two of them were actually hilarious to me. But this was the funniest one to me, because if you know me, this is me 100%. This person said they would never have had their kids. And I was like, yeah. A wise man once said, FTK.
What is FTK? Oh,
fuck them kids. Moms always be so loving, yo. Fuck them kids, man. No, but I thought that was funny. Because first of all, fuck them kids. That's just hilarious to me. Always, that mentality will always be funny to me, and it's not serious. It's joking. You feel me? Like, kids are funny as hell. I fuck with kids, bro. Kids crack me up. But somebody felt their life would have been offered more freedom had they not had their children, and maybe it was because they had their children at an early age. But they felt almost as if once the child's life began, their life kind of ended, and they were no longer living for themselves, as to now they were living for the child and to protect the child and to raise the child and all this good stuff. And they kind of just felt like they missed out on a part of life, If you have your kids too young in childhood and teenagehood, you miss part of growing up. You're not a fucking adult at 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 even.
Yeah.
So you miss part of maturing, part of your...
or at least it speeds up the process. Like now you have no choice but to grow up.
Right.
So you miss everything in between, right?
Yeah.
Like...
And it's
the actual learning.
It's harder to be forced to grow up than to be allowed to grow up.
Absolutely.
And then not only that, you're growing up with your child.
Yes.
So y'all are learning together in real time. And that can be overwhelming. What's the word I'm looking for? Hypothetically, because I wasn't fortunate enough to parent as much as I should have. And we've discussed that here before.
Yeah.
But learning together in real time can be scary almost, right?
It's very scary. And I mean, I can speak to that, right? I was 19 years old and I had no idea what I was doing.
And all of a sudden you were
And all of a sudden I'm a mom and this little person that is relying on me, right? I can't even keep a plant alive. I'm like, how am I going to keep this human alive? But, you know, and as you grow, right, you make mistakes. Even as adults, as parents, we make mistakes, right? But imagine being young, you're making life mistakes, parenting mistakes, and you're doing it with your kid along for the ride. That's tough. Yeah. It's tough.
And it's they won't know it in time they won't know it in real time, but it's tough for the kids too.
Of course, you know? They'll know it as adults, right? Once they're adults, they're gonna be like, wow, like.
I read on Twitter an excerpt or someone stated, but it was something to the effect of like, be kind to your parents. It's their first time too, you know? Yeah. Like nobody's born a parent or raised to be a parent. So when you have your kid, like, nigga, I'm learning too, my man.
And I mean, and
the bottle don't go in the microwave for 3 minutes, my bad.
And what do we go by? We go by the examples that we had, right? Like our parents, right? And then they also they had their own learning experience, and then they went by what they knew from their parent, right? It's like, it's a lot. Parenting is tough.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean,
shout out to all the parents out there doing the damn, and parenting today has to be frustrating, to say the least. Like, to give it the least amount.
Yeah.
Yo, parenting today got to be frustrating. These little fuckers.
Oh yeah.
They're all in touch with their emotions and shit, and their freedoms and their rights.
I mean, I could appreciate that though.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's times you just want to be like, because I said so. Well,
yes, and I'll tell you, especially with the generation that's now going into like the workforce, right? Sometimes they feel very entitled,
of course.
Right? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? You
get new B hires, like Gen X hires or whatever?
Yes. That's my stomach because I'm so hungry.
The empanadas. Dolly's empanadas. Buy 2, get 1 more for full price. And then you have 3 and you're good to go.
But yes, it's not like, I mean, like, I feel like we put in work, right? When you worked to grow, not you walk in and because, you know, you did your 40 hours, you did the bare minimum, you feel like you're entitled to now this promotion or this, like, what?
See,
but at the same time,
I kind of agree with them. Not on that point, but like, know your worth. And
I was just going to say, but at the same time, I could appreciate, of course, it absolutely is enough. If that's what you're hired for, that's what you're, you know, and I could appreciate, right, that they know their self-worth. Have you seen on TikTok that little cartoon, Veronica? Oh my God, I'm going to send it to you. If you guys have seen it, it's like what every employee really wants to say. It's like the new generation, what they say. It's hilarious.
But it's true?
It's absolutely true.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely true.
That's one thing I admire about the younger generation. They really just don't give a fuck, man.
But it's also, right, like, annoying as shit.
To you?
Yeah.
Yeah. But any in this case, you're corporate.
Right.
So any rebellion is going to be annoying.
But I feel like there's a way, like, they're just not, you know, I can be like, hey, can you put this pen over there? And this is an exaggeration. I just don't want to give too many details specific to, right, where I work and stuff, right? But can you put this pen over there? And they're like, oh, that's not part of my job title. I'm like,
I got
you
low-key
gotta be fucking
feel
kidding me.
Yeah.
All I'm asking you to do is put the damn pen over
Put
there.
your own fucking pen over there, boss lady, over here trying to step on me and shit.
But I get
That's
it.
where it starts, with a little pen. Next thing you know, it be some other shit.
So-
can you work this weekend? Type
So I
shit.
get it,
No,
but
nigga,
then
move your own pen.
it's also a give and take, right? But then don't come ask me for certain things. I asked you to put a damn pen there. Now you're asking me that you want all these days off because you booked the vacation before asking? Absolutely not.
But do they
no.
have PTO?
They do, but it has to be pre-planned, pre-approved.
See, that's the problem with PTO. A lot of people, for today, you're going to represent corporate. So corporate likes to believe that PTO needs to be approved or permission granted. No, my man. PTO is me giving you a paper telling you I'm not going to be here these days, so y'all need to figure it out. I'm not asking you for shit. You're not my mom or my dad to ask me to tell me where can I go. Yes,
Listen.
you're now allowed to go on vacation. No, my man. Here's the form. Whether you approve it or not, I'm not going to be here. And be prepared because you're a manager, so manage.
No, you work for the business need. We have to accommodate, right? It's the business need. So yes, you will have those days, but if I have 5 people out at the same time, I'm sorry, not everybody's going to be approved for that time.
Yeah, exactly. That's your fault. You're supposed to manage it properly. So don't have 5 people out at the same time.
Right, that's why I'm going to tell you no. I'm just
because I'm number 6. You're gonna disconnect me.
Seniority.
Nah, I'm out of here.
You can take it at another time.
Nah,
Here are the dates that are available.
Thank God we don't work together.
I would have fired your ass a long time ago.
Oh, for sure. No argument there. You'd have been like, Joe, you're late. Time don't even exist. What are you talking about? This man-made theory.
Oh, hell no. Thank
The
God we don't
sun
work
told me I
together.
needed to be here right now. I don't believe this shit.
Oh,
man.
let's move on, please.
All right, let's
because
move on. Do you have an example of any?
I do.
Because I
Let me
believe we were
see.
tasked with 5 examples each.
We were. Okay. All right. So someone said going back and changing the way I treated certain people.
Mm-hmm. Another revelation made after maturing, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes in the midst of mistreating someone, you don't even realize that you're mistreating them. And later down the road, you'll realize and be, apologetic and stuff.
And not only mistreating, right, but maybe treating people too good. Right? That may not have deserved
technically,
it.
you're still mistreating them because you're not treating them as they deserve to be treated. So you're wrongly
I guess
treating
you're right.
them.
You're right, but it's not just
Come on, corporate.
treating someone bad, right? Also treating someone too well.
Well, treating someone too well is bad.
It's bad for me, but not for them, or bad
Well, it
for
is
whatever.
because you're spoiling them.
Oh my God. Yo, who are you today?
I'm just messing with you. But no, that is correct, man. Treat people accordingly.
Yes.
Whether positive or negative. Treat them deservedly.
Correct.
To whatever level or capacity they have earned.
I agree. I think too many times we put people on a pedestal because of what we envision them to be
That's a
instead of
Libra
what they're
trait.
actually showing us.
We we love them all. Until they show us we shouldn't, and then we love them a little more, and then
Yeah.
we let them go.
Oh, this is true.
That
So
is true.
sad.
Wow, the cycle of love and loss. Depression.
For real.
Ay. Yeah, so you want to go any further on your example of mistreating people? Have you mistreated people?
I'm sure I have.
Good or bad?
Both.
Overly good or overly
Both. I would like to think more good than bad, but I'm sure other people would probably think otherwise. Right? Because we're all the villain in somebody's story. But I do think that I have treated people for the most part very well. And some people were obviously not deserving of that.
Did you have a mean girl phase?
I don't want to say a mean girl. I had a I don't give a fuck phase.
When was this?
Probably like right after my divorce for a very short window. I was just like, fuck that. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about you. I just didn't give a fuck.
Divorce, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's move on. My next example.
We're in retrograde. I think this is why you're acting a little.
I told you, retrograde fucks me up. Listen, seasonal depression kicks my ass, and retrograde makes me retarded, bro. I'm not even going outside tomorrow, and this eclipse shit.
Oh my God.
I'm not even stepping outside.
Guys, don't look at the sun. Wear those solar eclipse glasses.
Stay your ass inside, bro. Don't even.
Some of us have to go outside. Like.
You don't have to be outside when the eclipse happens. You can time it to be inside somewhere safe. No, you shouldn't. Not when them tectonic plates start moving and shit, and earthquakes and shit.
Just keep your eyes closed, guys, if you're going to be outside. My son's school actually purchased all the kids' solar eclipse sunglasses for them to wear, right? Because, I mean, with kids, you tell them don't look at the sun. What are they going to do? Look at the sun.
Correct.
Right?
Who made up the theory to not look at the sun?
I don't know. You want to Google it?
No, because there's a conspiracy theory that we were told not to look at the sun, that it would blind us. Because in actuality, the sun gives us strength. We absorb from the sun.
So you're saying we should look at the sun? Is that the advice you're giving?
Do you not go out and get sun every day?
I do, but I don't look directly at the sun.
You can.
But I don't. It hurts my eyes.
But how will you strengthen your eyes? It's like lifting weights with the sun. You slacking on your gym shit, bro. You're not even training your eyeballs. Go look at the fucking sun and get back at me.
Oh my God, don't. Listen, you know, you're about to get sued right now. They'll be like, the guy from Men Lie, Women Lie told us that we could look at the sun.
You ever seen Rocky V?
I'm sure I have, but, you know, my memory is...
The guy, the guy that's like a Don King guy, he tells Rocky, I'm going to sue you. And Rocky punches him. Bow! Sue me for what? I feel similar. Sue me for what, bro? All you're going to get is knowledge and love. So back to my next example.
Okay.
Y'all haters. My next example that someone gave me, similar to your, and we're going to get more into Mama Les's post-divorce adventures on a later episode, because I want to hear about this, because women post-divorce be fun as fuck. Someone said they would have never got married.
Oh.
At all. I don't know if it's because they married the wrong person, if they just no longer enjoy the... What's the word I'm looking for? The aesthetic of marriage. Mm-hmm. Maybe they got married with someone who they shouldn't have gotten married with, you know, and they never really enjoyed it or whatever.
I think that's most likely the reason, right? I mean, I could be totally wrong, but I think most people that would say that would probably be because, right, it just wasn't a good experience because of the partner that they chose. Or maybe the phase that they were in their lives at that moment, right? It wasn't the right time, because I know a lot of people that have been married and have gone through it, and they wouldn't, like, they're just strong. They're just, like, I admire them.
Like, they wouldn't leave it?
They wouldn't leave it, and they would do it all over again exactly the same way.
Were they happy?
Of course.
Oh, okay.
Of course. I mean, and not every day, right? Because not every day are you going to like the person that you're with. There's going to be moments that you feel like you're in and out of love. Like, do I even love this person anymore? Right? Like, there's, but when you think of, right, when you think past everything, they wouldn't change it at all.
And these are people that have, like,
yeah.
That's the
first couple that I think of, and I'm gonna shout them out, is one of my best friends, Jasmine and Chris, her husband.
Oh, Jasmine and Chris.
Yes, they're like freaking.
Chris?
Marinon.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I just said his like old name, but yes.
Blow it up. No, that's
No,
good people right there.
listen.
They've been in love forever.
They were together from high school. I remember, look, school together. They went to college together, worked together. I remember when I was young, I used to be like, Jazz, I don't know how you don't get tired.
Does Jazz watch the show?
I believe she does every now and then.
Shout out to Jazz and Chris.
Yo.
Years later, I heard about y'all in the Club Joe's bathroom. Y'all wild. But shout out to y'all because y'all been together since. And yeah, they have beautiful kids, right?
Two girls. Yeah. They are like just, them, I love, and granted, right? No relationship is perfect, right? But the way that they just keep things between them and they work things out and they're just so solid that like that's one of the relationships that I think of and I'm like, that's like goals, you know?
Absolutely. And good people, man.
Yeah, they're both beautiful people. Yeah. Beautiful souls, like just genuinely good people.
That's funny you mentioned them. I have funny memories with them. Man, but yeah, some people also regret marriage because they're selfish. So they regret never getting, similar to the kids thing, like never getting to live, maybe never getting to
But then that might be because you're not with the right partner, right? Because if you are, you can still live. What does living, right, mean to that person then?
Well, everybody's not meant to be in a monogamous relationship. So maybe to live to that person means to have a whole phase.
This is true. But then maybe you should talk about that with your partner. Maybe your partner's open to that.
Then it's not as fun. You can't have a whole phase and your partner know you out there hoeing. Like, then she I feel like that would be more
peaceful, no? Like,
maybe more.
There's no drama.
Men are selfish, so I don't want my girl going and hoeing around just because I'm going and hoeing around. That's not fair. Those faces. Would you not have gotten married if you had the choice? And you don't have to answer this if it's too personal.
No.
But if you could go back, would you have avoided marriage?
No, and I wouldn't avoid it now either. Am I like, oh my God, I need to get married again? No, right? I'm okay with, if I find like a partner and just like a committed relationship, I'm okay if we don't get married. But I'm also open to it. Yeah. No, I don't regret getting married. I think during that time, right, it was a beautiful thing, and it ran its course, and that's it. Oh my God, my stomach.
Good old marriage. It's like a sitcom and shit, or your favorite Netflix show. After a couple seasons, it was fun while it lasted. Gotta find a new show. Nah. I've never been married, so I don't know. And I don't know if marriage is really in the cards for me. When I think of marriage, I selfishly think of walking down the aisle to a band of violins playing the strings from Victory, and that being the highlight of the wedding.
Not your bride, the person you want to spend the rest of your life with, walking down that aisle looking amazing. No?
That don't even factor in. As long as I got my violin dudes and I'm coming out to Victory, like, okay. I don't even need the bride to be there, really. Like, just let me shine. Stop taking from my shine, bitch.
Wow. The narcissist in you is still there?
It's alive and well, baby. Don't be fooled. All that therapy, waste of time. Nah. Nah, I'm just messing, man.
No, you're not.
I'm actually not. You know what's funny? I've had my wedding song since I was like 10 years old, and it's my wedding song. And the bride don't even have a say in it. Like, this is the song, shorty. Like,
what's the song?
Always and Forever by Heatwave.
Is that the Always and Forever? I can't sing the song.
That's my wedding song, y'all. So whatever girl is fortunate enough and blessed by the gods to marry me, Was that a
That
dinosaur?
wasn't my stomach, guys. That was
I heard a
Dolly.
dinosaur. Yeah.
That was Dolly's
What?
reaction to Joe's nonsense.
Wow, I think she threw up. The song is Always and Forever. Be ready and be prepared. And if you don't like it, just swallow that and hold it in, and you'll be all right. Let's go to your next example.
All right, let's see. So I have one where he said he would have stayed away from alcohol.
That's valid as fuck, man.
Yeah. He says, it's hindered the progress of where he is now compared to where he would have been had he not had alcohol.
Was he an alcohol abuser?
Yes. And it ran down from like his dad, his,
Genetics?
not genetics,
It's
but
genetics.
it was.
It's a disease. Alcoholism is a disease, so I think it can be hereditary.
So, he says alcohol caused him to lose, right, jobs, opportunities, relationships,
Did he ever
loved
go
ones.
to like AA, or did he ever do any?
I'm
type
not
of
sure. I
treatment?
didn't go into detail, but he's in a really good place. Like, you would never think.
And he don't drink no more.
No.
I think that's a great example.
I don't know what his steps, right, to get to where he was, where he is now. But you would never think unless he shared that. And I actually thanked him for sharing that because, he didn't have to. That was pretty personal.
That's brave, yeah. Especially with a topic like that, especially to admit that it held him back for so long,
Yeah.
Shout out to the bro for being so open, man.
Yes,
We appreciate it.
thank you.
And for being so honest as well. Alcoholism, for as well known as it is, I think it's still hidden by the individuals, right? I know a few alcoholics, and none of them will say, I'm an alcoholic. And they'll drink every day and get drunk and whatever, other things. But they'll never admit to the alcohol being the cause or part of the problem and stuff. So, but fairly, they may not even realize that it is. You know what I'm saying? They may be so used to it, or they grew up around it, or it may be so normalized to them that they don't even realize that.
And that's what he said. He said, his dad exposed him at a really young age to alcohol, and that's what got the ball rolling with that.
Bad parenting, man.
So.
Bad parenting. My first drunk was at 13, and I mean drunk like. My dad had to come find me in the park drunk, and I tried
That's not even funny. I'm laughing.
To take a piss in the middle of the street, and it was just terribly ugly. Drinking Cisco and fucking Crazy Horse with Hawaiian Punch poured into it so it could taste like fucking
Cisco,
juice.
the crack juice.
Good times in the 90s,
Listen,
man.
I mean, I used to drink the little baby Ciscos too when we used to go. I think we had talked about this at one point. When we used to go to the teen parties. Well, when I used to go, because you're a little older than me. When
low blow.
When I used to go to Soundgarden, it was teen clubs and stuff like that, like teen nights. We used to all have little baby Ciscos or 99 bananas.
90. So on TikTok, there's currently a trend where children or not millennials, whatever this generation is, Generation Alpha, I think it's called. They're just now discovering MD 2020.
Oh, is that Mad Dog?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And they're
I feel like
documenting it
Mad
on TikTok.
Dog smells like fart.
Well, now because you have an adult nose, but as a kid,
I don't think I
shit.
ever drank that.
No.
No.
It was one of those classic childhood. You shouldn't be drinking yet, but
And now they're posting this on
social
media,
it's,
drinking
it's a
it.
trend right now. It's MD 2020.
Parents, please make sure you're paying attention to what your kids are watching on social
And
media. Because I remember that there was one, and I actually had to sit down and have a conversation with Jeremy, where the kids were, they would sweep their leg to make someone fall, on somebody else, and people were just falling straight and hurting themselves, their heads. And it was kids, and I was listen, Jeremy, you don't play, and it was a game. They made it a game.
These
you don't
kids
do
are
this.
stupid.
You don't, Because,
They were
dude,
eating
it takes
Tide Pods
Yes,
for a minute.
like what the hell? What the hell, guys?
See, the person that said they didn't know kids, they was onto something. They was really thought that out. That was well thought out answer.
Yeah.
My next example that was giving, these all kind of relate, sort of, because someone said they wished that they had gotten to travel more and see more of the world. And they got a little specific in stating that once you become part of like corporate America or the workforce, yo, you kind of just stuck, man, for like 30 years of this mundane, repetitive schedule of 8-hour work days, 5 days a week to get 2 days off and 2 weeks of vacation time per year. Or again, going back to what we were saying earlier, like these companies think that's enough. And I always think back to, I don't remember who said it, man. I think it's in the Bible, but it said, we work to live. We don't live to work. We shouldn't be working the majority of our lives to earn a bit of leisure or freedom.
You're right, but like,
we're supposed to be farming and shit and fucking.
What other choice do we have? Like, how are we gonna pay for where we live and stuff like that?
Why do we have to pay for where we live? We live on Earth. God made the Earth for me and for you. We shouldn't have to pay for shit if I want to go live in a tree somewhere.
So who we gotta talk to?
Papa Dios.
Where we gotta go protest?
I don't know. You still worried about fucking PTO and shit and not trying to give it out. I don't think we on the same side here. You still trying to charge me for my tree house. I told y'all, I think last episode, my daughter is dying to move to Puerto Rico. And I'm about to just move with her and go be a farmer and shit somewhere. And go farm quenepas and mangoes and shit.
And where are you going to live? You still got to pay for that.
In a hut or a barn or something, you know.
You can't just randomly pick a piece of land and be like, it's mine now, I'm building a hut there. No, you got to buy the land.
Why? America did it. Yeah, exactly. So this person wished they had traveled more, and I feel them, and I wish the same, bro. If you could go to one place on Earth right now, where would you go?
I don't know, off the top of my head, maybe like Australia.
Oh, you bugging.
I know, with those like big insects
they
that
got
have
6-foot
like
bats in Australia. That shit'll
I don't know.
grab you and fly your ass away.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. That's where I would want to go.
Fair enough. Be careful, and I'm not going with you.
What about you?
Dream destination.
I didn't say that was dream destination. You just said if there's one place you would right away. You didn't say anything about dream.
All right,
now,
what's your dream destination?
I don't know. I don't have one, but
no,
I
my
gotta think
dream
about it.
destination got to be somewhere like warm and like tropical, like Bali or something.
No, but that's totally doable. Bali's actually pretty affordable.
Yeah, I mean,
so like
fuck you want me to
that
say?
could happen
Mars?
like
Mars,
tomorrow.
that's
I don't
shit.
know. Like
Yeah,
I'm thinking of
okay.
like something like crazy, right?
What's crazy? Everything is.
Yeah, like going to Australia with these fucking big ass.
Australia as a country looks beautiful. Weather, sand, koala bears. I love them. Sloths. I'll
the
probably
cute
try
stuff.
to kidnap me a sloth. But they got spiders the size
They
of
do. Oh my
bowling balls
God.
or little. What's those little cars? The punch cars? They spiders be the size of a punch car. I'm not fucking going down there, bro. And then they got 6-foot bats. I've seen pictures of them. I ain't fuck with them, bro. Big ass spider in your house. You trying to sleep? No.
Yeah.
But I would like to go to Japan because they have a live recreation of Mario Kart. So I'd like to do that. I'd like to go back to Puerto Rico, but like as an explorer, like on an exploration.
Okay.
To go find shit and really be touristy. Like last time I went, I was just really vacation style. Like I want to go visit graves and just historical landmarks.
Yeah, I think anybody that has that opportunity to travel, especially when you're young, like I've been telling my son, I want him to go like backpacking, right? Like go, like it helps you find yourself. It helps you meet amazing people.
And he's a boy, so he should be.
And I mean, I would be freaking out, right, as a parent. But I feel like if any young person has the opportunity to do that, like, do it, man.
Hell yeah. Go see the world before you get stuck in the world. Yeah. I'd advise the same. I'm trying to think. There's a place in Italy that I would love to go to, but it's not the Amalfi Coast. The Amalfi Coast is for tourists. There's a place that like Italians know to go to, and it's beautiful. Greece is another one. Mm-hmm. Greece is a beautifully built city. There's a lot of places I want to go to. We shall see. But to my daughter, yeah, let's move. Let's go to Puerto Rico. I'll be a farmer, and you go be a fucking whatever. She has no plan other than to leech off of me, which is a great plan. If I had the opportunity, I'd take that shit too. Another example, Mama Les.
Actually, and now that you talked about you leeching, the one that I'm going to share, and it's not leeching, but it just one person said, not staying at home with parents to finish college. Like, she was so anxious to get out of her parents' home, and moved out on her own. Then, unfortunately, was not able to finish college, due to having to pay for it, and things like that, because now she's got rent to pay and like adult stuff to pay. So she says she wishes she would have stayed at home before wanting to like venture off and be an adult. Longer.
But if she was in such a rush to leave home, there was something there that she didn't want to be a part of. I'm assuming here, right? I'm theorizing.
Well, I know this person extremely well. That wasn't the case.
She was just a rebellious.
Yeah. Ever since she was little, that once she got her mind stuck on something. Yeah.
But then, would staying at home have caused her like inner turmoil because her rebellious nature wanted her to go be free?
Yeah, I mean, so she actually thought about it. She said, so she used to live in Puerto Rico, and she moved over here, right?
Fucked it up. Can I go back and take her spot in Puerto Rico with her parents?
But she says, she's like, when she looks at the other aspect of it, if she would have stayed in Puerto Rico, she's like, I probably would have ended up like a lot of her friends from over there with like 5 kids by this age, right? And she has no kids. So she's like, I could see like the good and the bad, right?
Yeah.
So.
Everyone's good and bad is different, I guess. I know people who are kind of rushing to leave their parents' house, but it's because their parents are wild.
Then you got the other aspect of it where the kids don't want to leave their parents' house at all.
And the parents like,
and the parents are like, come on now.
Please. Jeez.
But yeah.
Parents, be nice. Similar to yours, someone told me they wish they had finished school. Apparently they had started college and for whatever reason didn't finish it. They did go back and finish it many years later, but they think their trajectory would have been different had they finished it when they were scheduled to, I guess. But
I think that would have been the case, right? Like years ago, but I feel like now that necessarily may not be the case, right? Especially like a lot of students are going to school for one thing and then they end up not even working in anything that they went to school for.
Right.
So I feel like that has shifted a little bit. Don't get me wrong, Nathan, my son, you're staying in school, right? Jeremy, you're going to school, right? But I feel like it's Why are you laughing?
Because they have rights and feelings too. You can't just tell them what to do. Why you corporate les today, bro?
Listen.
Y'all young brothers, if y'all go find freedom.
My son is already about to finish his second year with no debt because mom has been working really hard to pay off college, right? So that he comes out with as little as possible of debt. You're 2 years in that I've paid out of pocket. Guess what? You're going to finish the other 2 years. It's not going to waste.
You stuck, homeboy. Don't listen to Uncle Joe.
It's not going to waste, okay? Yeah, stop giving him bad advice.
I didn't give him bad advice. I said find freedom. That didn't mean quit school. It just means.
What if that's his vision of freedom? Then you just like.
Who are you to object it?
Yeah, like, little kid, I gave birth to you.
He's an adult.
So then he owes me for the 2 years of college that I fucking paid for because now it's gone to waste.
Why?
'Cause it's gone to waste.
He ain't asked to be here. That was your choice. You gotta pay for that.
I don't have to pay for his college. I could be like, kid, take out loans.
You could say it, Mama Liz.
I could say what?
FTK.
I'm not gonna say that.
Oh, boo.
I'm not gonna say that.
Boring.
Oh man.
All right, my last example is actually my own example.
Okay.
I think last episode or maybe 2 episodes ago we were discussing regrets, and I think I had mentioned that not being in my daughter's life every day was like my number one regret. But another regret that I have, and if I could change this and do it over, I would do it over. I would have stayed in the Army for like my 20-year fucking bid and retired, and I would have gotten to retire at 37. And I probably would have gotten to see a lot more of the world. I probably would have got shot at and shit, but small price, right?
Probably be dead, but
yeah, you know, I would have got to see more of the world, and the retirement at 37 is a big part because I think that would have been really dope. And just I don't know. The Army, for as bad as it seems, you know, I learned a lot there, and there's a certain discipline in it that I miss, and a certain stability, right?
now I don't know like the benefits and stuff of being in the military, but if you, let's say, had you stayed and retired at 37, would you, due to like inflation and everything, would you be compensated in a way that you can live comfortably? Or would you have to continue to work? Like you'll just be retired from the military?
Pension or whatever the fuck, a retirement fund or something. So you get your monthly payment.
Would it be enough to?
I guess it depends on the individual and the lifestyle they live, and you know what their cost of living is.
I guess because if you live in a little hut like you want, it doesn't matter.
On what rank you finished at, right?
Okay.
So it would depend on how much you get.
Got it.
But yeah, for me, if it's not enough, you can go get a job.
Right. No, but that's what I'm saying. Is it, would it be really retirement or just retirement from the military, right? Because then if you're still working, then you're not really retired.
Right. But
at least not my definition of retirement, right?
Right. But, you know, you could get a bullshit job. Not a bullshit job, but.
No, I get it. Like not something.
Income.
Yeah.
Not something where you're stressed out. And
got it.
Deciding people's PTO fate and shit. You know, you could just go mop a floor or two and keep it pushing.
There you go.
So I would have did that. I would have stayed in the Army for 20 years. People in the Army for a long time get married and have a lot of kids. I would hope that I would have avoided that portion. But I would have fucked with it. I probably would have tried to like follow my daughter around, which would have been dope because she spent like 10 years in Hawaii. So I would have gotten to fucking spend 10 years in Hawaii. That would have been awesome. I would have probably been a surfer and shit. Probably like, you know, a beach guide or something, or a beach bum. Who knows?
I picture you with a little bit long hair, like.
Hell yeah. I would have finally learned how to swim. Damn.
Well, yeah, if you want to be a surfer, I would hope.
Yeah,
you know
probably.
Swim. Yeah, that would help.
Probably be a good idea. What's your last one?
I guess I'll give mine.
Oh.
Even though you were fighting with me about it.
I fight with you about everything.
Yeah, you do.
So be specific.
So I love my boys. I absolutely adore those boys. They are my world. But I would have not had at least my older one, right, at such a young age. And not only for selfish reasons, right, but because it's affected his life, right? If I could go back knowing what I know now, I would have made smarter choices as to who I selected, right, to have my son with, which would in turn change right, the way he grew up, and how I know.
It would have changed him totally, his DNA structure.
And right, which I get it would suck because I went back and forth on this, right? Because I'm like, I still want the same exact boys, right? And I know that wouldn't be the case, but I just know how he grew up, and not having his father there is going to affect his adult relationships, yes, right? And the things he's gonna have to work through. And if I can go back and change that for him, I absolutely would.
Yeah, you make his life easier.
Yeah.
Make growing up easier.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Again, it would be a different boy, but
we're saying hypothetically, though.
The same.
Right.
And in the hypothetical sense, you wouldn't miss the original because you'd never have
I would never have known him. Yeah. Correct.
But that's very mature of you to realize that your answer is somewhat selfish, but also very sacrificial.
Yeah.
At the same time, that's actually impressive. So shout out to that, man. Shout out to the kids.
My babies.
My babies' moms be so blind, yo. Mom goggles, especially moms for sons. Y'all be so annoying, bro. Like,
yeah, did you see that story I posted the other day? And it was like, it was like a meme about like a parent writing a message and the child just responding, okay.
In text, right? Yeah.
I have an actual screenshot of a conversation with my little one. My older one is actually really good at responding and being like, I love you so much, and you know. So this is and I have dates here. Saturday.
And he's how old?
11. No, Sunday, right? Love you, baby. No response. That was at 1:45 Sunday. Sunday at 9 p.m. Good night, my baby. I love you. Because he was with his dad, right, that week. No response. I'm like, hi, baby. Why are you ignoring me? He responds, this was on Monday afternoon. I had baseball.
Damn.
Then Tuesday, I'm like, you don't love me, baby. No response. And then he's like, Mom, I love you so much. But why? Because then he needed something.
You know what you should have hit him with right there? In text? In caps?
What? Fuck them kids?
Fuck them kids. FTK. And he would have been like, Mom, what's FTK? Fuck them kids. What you need? Some shit for baseball? Fuck you. Get it to...
Listen, granted, the kid is not a kid that's always like, he'll have like 150 text messages. Doesn't even look at them. But
yeah, but Mom,
I know he's on his phone because he'll be watching YouTube and stuff. So I know you see my messages.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love you. I miss you. No, nothing.
It's like texting an uninterested partner.
But when he's at home with me, he's all over me. If I move away and I'm like on my phone, he's like, you see, you don't love me, whatever. I'm like, so it goes both ways, kid. It goes both ways.
Well, also, he's a man, you know. We love you when we're with you, and when we're not,
you gotta deal with it.
A wise man once said, when we're together, and when we're not, we're not.
Who is this wise man?
Think about it. Oh, some pimp ass nigga. I don't know.
Man.
But it makes perfect sense in my brain.
Of course.
So now, part 2 of our survey or question or homework, as it was assigned, was to answer the question. Damn, I forgot the question. Is it all predestined?
Yeah.
Right?
So I didn't do any research on that. I think it is.
Do you know?
I think that there's different paths, right, that we take depending on the decisions that we make.
No.
And I think that may change its course a little bit.
No.
But I think ultimately you end up where you were going
to
to end up regardless. Might be a little bit different, right? Maybe if I would have made certain choices, I'd be a millionaire right now, but I'd end up, you know, or maybe not a millionaire, but have more money than I have now, right? But I think I would end up
in the same place.
In the same place. I don't know. I could be totally wrong.
The Bible defines destiny as God's purpose for our life.
Mm-hmm.
So God, being all-knowing and divine, knows our purpose and our path.
I think the ultimate goal in life is for us to know what our own purpose is, right? Because
you have
it's
to
uncover, right?
You
have to.
Yeah. But I guess what I was leading to is a hypothetical question. If destiny is God's purpose for our life, and He knows the path, and He knows every step, then He knows when you're going to sin.
I don't think so.
Right?
I
No,
think
'cause
that
He gives you free will.
the end destination is the same. What path we take depends on our own decisions.
And you
right?
think those
So if we make the
don't
right
affect
decisions,
the
destination is smoother. When we make the dumb decisions that we make,
Uh-huh.
knowing, right? Because that internal voice is telling you, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And you go and do it. That's where our paths are like a hot mess.
That don't make no sense. Because God is all-knowing. So He knows all. So He knows the path you're going to take before you take it.
I think that He's giving us a choice, right, to make our own decisions. And
yes, but He knows what choice you're going to take. He gives you the choice, yeah, but He knows what you're going to answer.
And that's fine if He knows it.
This is now religious rhetoric. There is no correct answer. I don't fucking know. I'm just talking.
And that's fine, even if He does know it, right? But we don't.
All right, so the question was, if He knows it because He's all-knowing, and you sin, can He punish you for your sin if it's kind of His fault?
Nah.
I mean, a hypothetical proposition.
You sin, and then we like repent, right? And we get like forgiven.
Depending on your religion, I would assume.
And then that puts us back on track.
And you're just back to zero and refreshed and restarted. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
God is a forgiver.
I'm not going to argue that.
I don't know. Dahlia, am I wrong?
I'm not going to argue that. God is a forgiver, yeah.
He's not a forgiver?
Cleanse us of your sin.
Oh, He is a
No, He
forgiver.
punishes people.
Or do we punish ourselves?
If there was a flood, it ain't punishing ourselves. There's another flood coming. Y'all keep laughing. Mark my words, yo. Yo, we had an earthquake in New Jersey.
It's not the first one we've had. It's just
I know, but
the one we've felt. I remember there was one.
Peep that there was an earthquake last week in Taiwan, I believe.
And I'm sure if we go through history and Google shit, there's going to be probably every other week there's an earthquake or something somewhere. Right? May not be of a big magnitude so that it doesn't get really reported, but I'm sure there is.
I'm sure there is, but there are repercussions for those. It's like the butterfly effect.
Isn't that a movie?
It's a movie, yes, but it's also a theory in that a butterfly flapping its wings on one side of the world will cause a tsunami on the other side of the world. So it's theoretical.
Mm.
But
is the movie called The Butterfly Effect?
The movie is called The Butterfly Effect, and it's a really good movie.
I think I've seen it.
In that movie, the man sacrifices the woman that he loves so that she could live a happy life. And in doing so, he has to live a life without her. But he loves her so much that he makes that sacrifice. It's one of my favorite movies, by the way. Yeah. Men be sacrificing for women, bro. To go back to... Why y'all be laughing at me?
I'm just...
To go back to the question, damn, where's my phone? I wanna word the question properly. Oh, do you believe everything happens for a reason? Yeah. Yes. A wise man named Nasir Jones said in the year of 1998 that it was written. And Nasir Jones never lied. So yes, everything is written and predestined. But if it's all predestined...
Right, so then it's like, why don't I just don't give a fuck. Like, yeah, just not give a fuck, and I'm going to end up where I want to end up.
Exactly.
Yeah. I
don't know. NFTK, bro. Because it don't matter.
So it's like, like you're going to end up with who you're supposed to end up with. You're like going to be where you're supposed to be no matter what.
So I was watching a movie the other day. Not the other day. It was a few weeks ago. Denzel Washington in The Equalizer wakes up from a coma, and he asks the person helping him, "Where am I?" And the person's reply is, "You are exactly where you're supposed to be." So I think that's kind of life, right? You're always exactly where you're supposed to be, whether it's positive or negative. That's just kind of where you're supposed to be, whether it's to learn a lesson or to give a lesson or to fucking gain a scar or whatever.
There's always a lesson to be learned.
Correct. And today's lesson was most definitely, to go back to Pee Wee Herman, today's magic word of the day, FTK. Mama Les is not an FTK supporter.
I am not.
Mothers don't be. Mothers be mad boring. Wow. Somebody's... And on that note...
Woo! Okay.
I think it's time to go.
Yeah, I think so.
Thank y'all for tuning in. All the mothers out there. All the single moms. All the lonely moms. All the moms that need love and cuddles and hugs and shit. You know what I mean? Shout out to y'all. And the dads, too. Yo, men need cuddles, bro. Don't ever be fooled, and don't let toxic masculinity, don't let it fool you into believing that men do not also need physical compassion. And they back rubbed, and they neck rubbed sometimes. So, be a good human, bro. Go out and fucking offer a guy a nice little neck rub. It don't got to be sexualized, or it don't got to be like flirty. Just be like, yo, my man, you look like you a hard worker. You want me to rub your neck for a little while? We'll appreciate it.
But if a guy were to come up to me and be like, oh, you look like you need a back rub, I'm going to be like, you freaking creep.
Well, that's your fault, not his. He's just being friendly.
You would go up to some random. You would go up to some because it might be to have some stranger touching me.
What if he's a licensed masseuse that just is a good person, a good giving soul, and you missed out because you want to be on some? Oh, you're a creep. How you know he's a creep?
That's a little creepy.
Why?
Because you're gonna randomly go up to somebody and be like, "Hey, can I rub your back?"
No, I didn't say that. Hey. You look like a hard-working young woman.
You didn't say all that.
I did say that.
Whatever. Even if. Yes, I am a hard-working young woman, and no, I don't need your hands touching me.
Whoa. Touch yourself. Hold on now. Wow. Yo, you don't know. He might have the softest hands. He might be the best masseuse, and you miss out. He might be the love of your life, and you're just fucking being rude.
The love of my life is not going to do something like that.
How do you know?
Because they're not. Maybe if I go and I'm paying for the service, right? Okay, but some random guy telling me, let me touch you. You would do that to somebody? To a female?
If the young lady looked like she needed it, and it would be my pleasure to help her feel better and heal. Men lie, except this guy. Women lie, for sure. And all flowers die. The podcast. And we out.
I get you.